Going live, coming on Saturday morning.
Good evening. Welcome back to the Jimmy Cheese channel. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers. Oh, bit
Oh,
spillage.
Fripping it already, mate. It's only the first. Right, let's see if we can get you in the shot a bit. Here we go.
I'm in.
You're in?
I'm in.
Right, so we thought what we'd do today, just go over the fixtures release, see what kind of games are appealing to us really, and well, obviously our season tickets. There's a fair few away games that we'll be looking at going to. And then there's some other Saints news, and we can just do that because we haven't had a catch up since Saturday.
3 weeks? Yeah, well, yeah, but we haven't done one of these for about 3 weeks, have we? So
yeah, 2 or 3 weeks since we last did a live. So we've kind of needed to get back on and
I think so.
do something. So yeah, how's your week been?
Yeah, good. Yeah, busy. Done now for the week, so 3-day weekend again.
Again?
Which is nice. Yeah, well, get the project done in 4 days, mate. Have 3-day weekend, so it's nice.
Are you off out again?
Probably not. Bit of a quieter one this weekend. I've got a few bits and pieces to get done around the house, so probably not.
It's just sleeping.
But yeah, I will be out.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Be out at some point. Be out somewhere at some point. I would imagine.
More important news. Can we actually, before we get into the fixtures, most important news I have seen is that Kingfisher is no longer the beer sponsor,
Thank God.
and it is now Asahi. So Asahi and Peroni
Good.
on tap.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, I don't mind a Kingfisher when you go out for an Indian or whatever, or it's served in a bottle or a nice draft.
Yeah, but not out of a warm plastic glass at St Mary's.
But what if Asahi is served in a warm plastic glass?
Then it won't be anywhere near as good, will it?
As Kingfisher, or
no, I think Kingfisher is probably one of the worst, to be honest.
Yeah, it has been pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been terrible.
Apparently, they're still keeping the Dancing Man Brewery. I don't know. Have you had it around Kingsland?
No, I don't think we have.
Like they do like little stands, like a little kiosk.
No, not
so
those.
You can get their beers. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, their lager's quite good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I tried the lager when we did hospitality the year before last.
Yeah,
and it was really nice. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, last year.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I think this year the beer has actually been a bit better in terms of being not warm, and I wouldn't say we're connoisseurs, are we? But we know what we want.
It did improve a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It's just a matter of improving the quickness that they can get it out to you, really, which sadly means improving a lot of the staff. But we'll see. They're on about self-service kiosks and things like that there next year, aren't they? I don't know if you've seen the rumours about that.
There was
a couple of photos that I think Alfie House and the Echo put on his Twitter or X about it. It looks like they might be going down the little self-service route, so that'd be
for
decent
beer
as well. Looks that way, yeah.
Was it bring your own?
Well, let's hope so. If it is, that'd be great. That'd be really good if it is.
It'd be like Tottenham, where you put your pint down.
Well, we were spoiled, weren't we, at the Pie Face v Legends match, where we could happily drink in the stand.
Yeah, we went to Pie Face Legends charity match, and it was crap.
It was
we literally marched on up to the top, didn't we?
We did, into the press area.
And it was a good view. And then we watched that pitch invasion with all the kids, which was just ridiculous. And then they all kicked off, didn't they? The
it was good,
announcers
and good game, good day.
And then cancelled the after party, which
was probably good because it was pouring rain.
Probably
anyway.
Didn't want to do it anyway, did they?
Probably not.
I think they'd had
enough. It was quite a funny thing to watch.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy Peroni and Asahi, to be honest.
Same.
I think they're both very similar beers, to be fair.
Yeah, they are. They're going to be probably more expensive than what we had. The choice we had.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, to be fair, they've had
Sapporo,
and that's been like £7.20, I think, or something. Yeah. Which, to be honest, at footy, I don't mind paying that.
You can pay that in the centre of town for a beer.
You
so
can,
it's probably not a lot of difference, really.
But I do feel a bit. I just feel upset when it's warm. That's all. I just want it cold and a bit fizzy.
Yeah, I don't mind a plastic glass, providing the beer's cold and fizzy.
Right, exactly.
So, but it's good news. Hopefully that will roll out at the first game, and everybody will be a little bit happy with the beer choices.
Will indeed. Just sort of. Alison's popped up in the chat. Hello, Alison. Good evening. How are you doing? Alison's renewing her season tickets.
Good.
So she couldn't make a few of the games this year, and she been a good supporter of the channel, so thank you very much.
I think we've got quite a large number of season ticket renewals, haven't we? It doesn't seem that it's been.
Yeah, but they've
faded
just
away.
kept extending the date for which you could renew it. So that's
Yeah,
going
well,
to have
that's
helped. If they're rolling in, then why not?
Yeah, I think they're saying we've got really, really good numbers, so that's good. So let's hope that we have a full ground every week again like we did in the Premier
I
League.
don't see why we wouldn't.
I don't see why.
I mean,
like
either. I think it tailed off towards the end just
because people had
fed
enough,
up.
really. Yeah, it was a real toil last season. It was very, very difficult. Yeah. Difficult to stay motivated about it. And to be honest, if it wasn't for the social side of going to St Mary's, it would have made it even harder. Mm-hmm. But the social side made up for the inept people on the pitch. And
is that a compliment, mate?
I know it's the other people I go with, mate.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, your best mates.
Yeah, my best mates. Yeah.
All right, let's get into these fixtures. You've got it up on your phone.
I've got it on my phone. Yeah.
I've got it elsewhere.
Yeah. Talk to me.
So let's bang out August. So the first home game that we've got, I don't think you could have asked for a more fun home game, to be honest.
Hollywood United.
Hollywood, Wrexham. But I don't know. I just think that's a pretty good, fun fixture to open with.
I think it's a great fixture to open with. Well, Jay Rod will be back, which is good because he plays for Wrexham, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah, so Jay Rodriguez will be back.
Clue about Championship or below?
No, well, we need to learn, don't we? Because we're back there again.
I always liked Jay Rod.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, he was a bit hit and miss at times.
The injury did him for us, didn't it? Really. But yeah, Wrexham at home would be a good first fixture. I think it's
Ipswich Town after that.
Ipswich away is always a good away day.
Alison's popped up that she can't wait for it because she's Welsh. Well, she can't come to the football ground then. She'd have to go with the away team.
Clearly knows nothing about football. Then not a rugby fan.
No. Which I think she is a big rugby fan actually.
Well, someone's got to be, haven't they?
Yep. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and we might even see Deadpool there.
We may well do. I don't really know what that is because I'm not into all that all that stuff.
You know that really tight gimp suit that you've got?
Oh yeah, the one that you make me wear, yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I might wear it then.
Yeah, not pink, it's red.
Well, that might be the new kit for we know because we don't know anything about it.
Oh, crikey. So... I reckon that's going to come out probably on the 1st.
1st of July.
Let's hope so. Because
we all know what it is anyway. Don't we?
Rollbit are sponsors until the 30th, which is the end of the season.
Oh, okay.
And so they would have a portion of kit sales. So the kit sales that this season shirt is still on sale.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And they get a portion of that.
So that'll be what, Tuesday or Wednesday next week? Is it the 1st?
Yeah, that's what I reckon. Because why would? Because they're not going to turn down sales.
Oh.
So.
No, they're not.
Anyway, then after that, away.
No, home to Stoke after that.
No, Ipswich.
Ipswich away.
Ipswich away. We did that last season.
Yeah, really
do it again.
Good away day. Yeah, really good away day. Ipswich. Yeah, easy to get to. Grounds in a really good location, and yeah, last season was great.
Obviously, it was a win.
It was one of the only 2 wins we had. But yeah, really good away day. Ipswich, very enjoyable. So I'll be looking to go to Ipswich.
Excellent.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Stoke after that.
Stoke at home,
Saturday the 23rd.
Hopefully by then, we'll be looking for our 3rd win in a row.
3rd win. What do you reckon? Actually, whilst we go through it, win or lose, based on it now, and there's teams in here that I don't really know that much about, to be fair. I've always been rubbish with the Championship.
I think Wrexham when we bang up for it. We've got a lot to prove of yet another new manager coming in, so I can see that possibly being a draw home to Wrexham.
Draw? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I'd probably take a draw. Let's see how these friendlies go, to be fair.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, I reckon this team can do something in the Championship.
I hope so.
Ipswich, well, they've also just been relegated.
Very hit and miss, same as us, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
obviously, there's a long way to go as well before the end of the transfer.
Yeah, well, it'll still be open, won't it? Is it the...
It will be by then.
30th of August, is it?
31st,
something like that, somewhere around there, yeah.
Bit late, really, isn't it?
Ipswich, hit and miss game. Very hard to predict that one because nobody would have predicted an away win last season.
No.
Not really.
I'd probably predict a draw or a loss. Stoke, it's got to be a win, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah, tough team, Stoke, though.
Then it's a Watford away. Would you go to that one? You didn't really like Watford, did you?
I'm not over keen on Watford. I've been there a lot. Been to Watford a lot. It's an easy one to get to, but they don't have beer in the away end.
Exactly.
So, and I know that's a stupid thing to be put off by for an away game.
No, yeah, but even if you're only having one beer, it's still like something that I
mean,
enjoy.
There are plenty
trying
of
a beer.
pubs. There are plenty of pubs around Watford to go into.
But it's not about that for me.
No,
it's like I like to just go and have a beer at the football, even if it's just one.
Yeah, before the game or at half time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
Just have a beer and try a different beer at a different venue. And I know it sounds a bit lame, but what else have we got in life, mate?
Well, I don't know, mate. Nothing really.
Right, and then let's move into September. There's no big games in September, really.
Not really.
There's some crappy fixture with what's that?
I never heard of them. Piss mouth or something. Never really heard of them.
Portsmouth.
Yeah.
So
the Blue View.
That's a home game. So where are you for that?
Not St Mary's. Sadly, no.
You're going away, aren't you?
I'm away for that game.
Is that the one that you wanted me? That holiday you wanted me to come on?
That
as well?
was the one that I did mention to you about, and I assume, being a good friend that you are, you'll be coming on holiday rather than going to the game.
I might have to now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I can go on my own.
Bit of a shame that, but there you are. I've seen plenty of times Pompey. I've seen at St Mary's, so
yeah,
it is a bit of a pain, but there we are. We'll gloss over that.
To be fair, mate, we might all be nuked by then anyway. So
well, let's hope not.
Yeah, well, I don't care if we are. If we're gone,
we
we're
won't
gone.
know anything about it. Mate,
exactly.
So.
Right, let's move on because we'll be here all night. Oh, probably be here all night anyway.
Yeah.
Next one, Hull City away. Anything on Hull?
Not really.
Bit boring, really, isn't it?
Don't really know a lot about them, to be honest.
Bit of a long drive.
Very long drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I think Hull. They were kind of like towards the top end when we had that promotion. Didn't we play? Was it Hull that we played? No, that was West Brom. Yeah. Middlesbrough home.
Middlesbrough home. Yeah. Again, a bit of a beige team, aren't they? Really. New manager gone.
Not Carrick anymore, is it?
No, it's Rob Edwards who was at Luton. So, but somewhere sandwiched in all this, we've got Northampton away in the cup, haven't we? The draw was made this afternoon, and we drew Northampton away, which is sandwiched in here somewhere.
I don't know how they're going to fit that in. That would be on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which would be fine. But is that at home?
No, it's away.
Oh, I'm not going to that. No. If it's in the week, I'm not going to that. I expect we'll still get a good thing. Sheffield away, Tuesday, 30th September. I wouldn't mind that one, but it's a Tuesday.
It's a long way. Tuesday night, isn't it?
Yeah, I just can't.
I'm not quite sure who works out the fixtures, but I know there's got to be I know there has got to be evening games put in, but when you've got teams based all over the south coast,
it's a computer that does it.
Yeah, I know, but you could make them better, couldn't you? We could play Oxford away on a Tuesday night, or Bristol City, or that lot down the road, or we don't have to be going up north on a Tuesday night, really, do we? Again, it's just the fans being sort of slowly kicked out of football, really, isn't it?
I suppose it is.
And we have got Bristol City away on a Tuesday night in October, which is better. It's Bristol's a couple of hours.
Before that, though, we've got Derby on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Up for that one?
Yeah. Oh, I'm on 40 away games, mate. You know that. So more than happy to do that.
Saturday, 18th, Swansea.
Yeah.
Home, fine.
Yeah.
Again, these ones should be wins, in my opinion. If he can keep some of them players that we've got in that squad, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't perform.
If is the big word in that sentence, I think, really.
I don't think we need to keep everyone. We just need to keep Ramsdale.
Yeah.
We need to keep Fernandes.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Diblin deserves another go consistently, but he's not top of my list right now.
No, I think Tyler Diblin needs to stay to have the crap kicked out of him every week in the Championship.
He's got,
see what sort of player he's going to develop into.
He's got to show up. Bristol City away. That I wouldn't mind, but it's a Tuesday night. How quickly can we get back?
A couple of hours, Bristol.
Yeah, might be doable.
Yeah, could be doable. Then followed by Blackburn away.
Blackburn away on a Saturday.
4 days later. Tough place to go, Blackburn.
Yeah, it's not
Went
great.
there last time we were in the Premier League and in the Championship, and it was a very, very boring 0-0 draw.
Always wanted to do Ewood Park though. I've not done that.
Yeah, it's all right.
I just think back to Blackburn, when they won the Premier League and all that. And just think about how, and then you had like Tim Flowers and Sheeran that went from Saints.
Yeah. Then Jeff Kenner. Yeah.
Good team. Didn't they have Dennis Wise?
No, not Dennis Wise.
I'm literally thinking of Dennis Kenner. He came from Southampton as well, didn't he?
Dennis Wise was in our academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Jeff. They signed Jeff Cannon from us.
Sutton and all that.
Yep, Shearer and Sutton. Yeah, in the SAS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, moving into November, we're at Preston North End at home. Fine.
Yeah.
It's quite a busy month, this one. What's that? 6 fixtures in November.
Yeah.
Then on the Wednesday, it's QPR away. I'll make it. Wow, it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday, QPR.
I still really want to get to Loftus Road.
Yeah, difficult one.
Saturday, 8th, Sheffield Wednesday. If they're
still going.
They're in the shit, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they've been transfer embargo for the next 3 transfer windows, is it? Something like that?
That is because of the owner. And so that is killing the club.
It is, yeah.
And the fans because of the owner.
Yeah.
Which is pretty harsh.
Yeah, same as what happened at Reading, wasn't it, before they were sold. And can't be losing clubs like Sheffield Wednesday and Reading because of stupid owners, really.
We've given up on doing scores here. Charlton away.
Yeah, back to see old Jonesy. Be an interesting one, wouldn't it?
I hope the fan. You remember what we did, Matty Fernandez for that 40 minutes. I hope they do like Jones as a wanker for 90 minutes or something like that.
Well, yeah, but then they'll beat us 1-0 and he'll have the last laugh, won't he? So
that doesn't bother me.
Best thing we could do is just ignore him and get behind the team. Really, I think I remember all the crap that we gave Harry Redknapp when he came back with QPR and they ran away with a 2-1 win. So let's not concentrate on the people on the sidelines. Let's concentrate on the people on the pitch, really.
Yeah, don't worry about the clowns at the side.
Exactly.
Leicester at home.
Tuesday night.
Same. I think Leicester are going to be trouble, but they won't have Vardy this year.
No, they won't. No.
And then we've got a Millwall away on the 29th. Here we go. The 29th. That is a day out in London. Let me check my calendar for that one.
Oh, he's probably busy.
Well, if it ends, I don't know if it ends on the 29th, does it? It doesn't end on the 29th.
What doesn't end on the 29th?
No, it doesn't. Brilliant. No, the last day of the month is the 30th, which is good. Yeah, I'll be able to make that one. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm going to JLS. I'm in London, though.
Oh, great.
I'm in London, so I could.
Yeah.
I could.
I'm not going to
do
Millwall.
The football.
I'm not going to Millwall with anybody that's going to leave Millwall and then go to JLS.
Bran will be there.
Yeah. Let's cross over that one.
Oh, no, we could do that.
Saturday, 6th of September, home to Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
Jude Bellingham's brother in there.
He's just been transferred.
Player in the, did he?
No, he's just been transferred to Job?
Yeah.
He's just gone to Dortmund, hasn't
he? Did he?
From Sunderland. Yeah, Christ, you're about 3 seasons behind the time here, mate.
Dortmund?
Yeah. Joe Bellingham's just gone to Dortmund. Well, somewhere in Germany.
This
transfer window. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. And then West Brom away West Brom at home on the Tuesday night.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting after what happened with in the playoff game.
West Brom.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully nothing will happen.
Norwich away. It's a bit of a crap day out, that one.
Yeah, not for me, that one.
Delia.
Yeah, it's a long way to go, Norwich.
This is December. We've got 6 dates in December.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Not giving any cup dates in there as well. Then Saturday the 20th, Coventry.
Yeah, Frank Lampard coming back. Well, not coming back, but I think he's building a good little team at Coventry.
I think that would be an interesting one to see.
Coventry might be the dark horses in the Championship.
They could do.
They really do.
Yeah. And then Boxing Day, an away day, because we've had the last, 2 or 3 at home, haven't we?
Yeah.
So it'd be nice. I think we could do
Boxing Day. I think it's an absolute disgrace that the Premier League aren't playing on Boxing Day this season.
They're not?
No, they're not. No, they're having Boxing Day off, and because I think Boxing Day is a Friday and they don't play until the Saturday, which I think is awful. Boxing Day football is an absolute tradition in this country. Has been for years and years, and the Premier League aren't playing on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Which I think is really bad.
I mean, if it's an away game and I don't fancy travelling miles and miles, or it's a crap fixture, I wouldn't mind not going.
But Boxing Day is all about local fixtures, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's the thing. Within reason, it's about a local
Oxford's
fixture.
pretty local.
Oxford's
it's local enough for us to get up there. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a decent place to go, Oxford, as well.
Yeah, no, I'll be looking forward to going to see that one.
Very easy to get to.
Yeah, we'll have to get Bran a ticket for that as well. And then we've got Birmingham away on the 29th,
which is on the Monday.
And then Millwall at home.
New
Year's Day. Oh.
Hungover against Millwall. That'd be interesting.
Be all right.
Fancy doing Middlesbrough away again on January the 4th?
Yeah.
No thanks.
It's a Sunday. A Sunday.
I wonder why that's a Sunday.
That took us, 4 hours?
Oh, I wonder why that's a Sunday. Well, because a cup like twice in 3 days.
Although
I suppose.
we can't confirm our fixtures just yet because they need to lock in TV,
yeah, and things like that.
which I think we find out this week. So we're not concrete on all
Well, it's
these.
5 months' notice the EFL give you, isn't it? With not changing fixtures. So anything from January to December will be pretty much confirmed. I would have thought, apart other than kickoff times. However, I have seen
these are confirmed, are they?
Yeah, I have seen that. Apart from kickoff times, I have seen that Wrexham is 12:30 on Saturday.
That's fine.
That's all right. Gives more drinking time in the afternoon. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a good weekend for me. I'm happy with that. Alison has said Ramsdale's been linked to a Turkish club.
A Turkish club that had just signed Melier from Leeds, apparently. Fenerbahce, yeah.
Well, he's a keeper, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I doubt Ramsdale.
Ramsdale's a keeper as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that last
season. Yeah, I don't think Ramsdale would go to a Turkish club.
He's recently got married, hasn't he?
Premier League football. He's happy down south.
Bournemouth.
Well,
Azpilicueta's just gone to Arsenal as a backup goalie, isn't he?
Azpilicueta.
Kepa. He was in goal for Kepa. Yeah.
That's a weird one, right? Because
it's very weird, mate.
Kepa was going to be like the man, wasn't he, for a while, and then he just really went off the boil at Chelsea.
Wouldn't surprise me if Rambo went back to Bournemouth. Because it's local and he still lives this way.
I think he'd be a good goalkeeper for Bournemouth.
Oh, he's played for him before, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And got relegated with them as well. So he's not got a brilliant relegation record as Rambo. But
where do we get to?
There you are. We got to January.
Oh yeah. There we go. It'll be coming around again now. Hull home, Sheffield home, Pompey away is Saturday the 24th. As it stands, it might get moved to a day.
I'm not sure.
A really awful fixture, so that they'd probably want it as early as possible, wouldn't they?
More than likely, I would imagine the time will be changed for the game in September.
10 a.m. kickoff or something.
I mean, they're going to look at middays, aren't they? Really?
I think that because it will end up on TV, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course it will.
But they just want to cut down on the drinking time, so it won't be a 5 or 6 or 7.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's a midday on a Sunday kickoff, something like that, where you've got no opportunity to go out and drink.
The Pompey fans are always drunk at that time anyway.
Well, yeah, but
they're allowed cans of Tennants in their stands.
We're not going to talk about them, are we?
Oh no,
no.
We said we wouldn't. So moving on up, Stoke again
away.
February, Watford home, Leicester away, Charlton home, QPR home, Sheffield Wednesday away. It's another one of them grounds that I've always wanted to go to.
Hillsborough's a proper football stadium.
Yeah,
great football stadium.
It's on a Saturday the 28th of February. That one's probably not. That's not good for me because I'll be.
Who are you seeing that week?
I'll be
Spice Girls.
No, I'll be having work the next day.
Well,
I could change something potentially.
Change your work.
28th is the last day of the month, isn't it?
February,
yeah. I might have to come up with something.
That'll be another away game without cheesy. Never mind. 7th of March, Norwich at home. And then we're sort of getting down to the nitty-gritty in March, really, aren't we? Seeing where we are.
We might be relegated again by then. We just don't know, do we?
I've got a lot of grounds to do in League One, so there's a lot to finish off. I think there's apart from Wrexham away, there is not a new ground in the Championship.
You're a top fan, aren't you? I said this to you the other day. Like how many? You've done pretty much all the grounds in the top.
I've done all of them in the Premier League, all of them in the Championship, apart from Wrexham. Wrexham is the only new one, which is on Easter Monday, which is great. So nice trip to North Wales on Easter Monday, but that'll be definitely one to go to. It's another ground ticked off for me, so it's great.
Yeah, I'll be down for that one.
Yeah,
we might even be able to book a hotel. Might be able to book a hotel
Sunday night
potentially. Yeah,
double room,
tear it up.
Double room, night out in
double room.
Yeah, for me and Claire.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Claire and Chloe can have a room. You and I can have a room.
I did that with Richie at Liverpool.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Bet that was horrific.
Richie was a little. Well, the funniest thing about when we went back to the hotel room was we had a little wall heater which didn't need to be on because it was quite warm up there, and it had a little green light on it. And Rich went absolutely mad about this green light. I can't sleep with that light on. I can't sleep.
Is he drunk?
What am I going to do about this light? And I was like, mate, put a towel over it. So he couldn't find a towel because there was only about 5 of them in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I think he was too drunk to walk to the bathroom. So he just draped a pair of trousers over it. And the next morning he woke up and said, Well, my jeans on the radiator. And I was like, let me tell you a story about that, Richie.
You pissed your pants, Richie.
Yeah. We had to put them on there because you were pissing the bed all night.
Makes a change, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't just drop the radiator out the window.
I think he was tempted at one point. This was about 4:00 in the morning, though. He literally just got back to. Yeah, it was a long night.
Yeah,
it was a really good night in Liverpool.
Dangerous night.
That's a good night.
Yeah, where do we get to? Wrexham, Derby, Swansea, Bristol City, Blackburn Rovers at home, and
a lot
then
of games in April. 6 games in April as well.
It could be more, couldn't it? If there's any games that get
we're
off.
playing Good Friday and Easter Monday. Well, look at it, 3rd and 6th. So at least we know
Easter's early this year.
Easter's very early this year, yeah. And we finish up away to Preston North End
on Saturday the 2nd.
Saturday 2nd of May. So we'll
away.
Will that be the end of our season, or will we be down into the playoffs?
Could do that one. Will we go into the playoffs?
You can't do that one because you've got to market the next day, mate.
First
Sunday of the month.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
You're gonna have to change your job. Mate.
Not bad.
You've got to change your job.
Behave. I think.
So potentially out of all of that,
that's not a bad one to end on.
What is your prediction for next season out of all of that? What is your league prediction out of all of that?
Oh, my league prediction.
Your league
going to be skint.
Yeah,
my prediction.
But what's your league prediction out of all of that? Based on what we've got at the moment, not knowing who's going to come and who's going to go still.
Alison's just said, when's the World Cup? It's the Euros, isn't it?
No, it's World Cup.
World Cup. Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to be this.
It's going to be
June, it's Qatar, probably. Isn't it?
No, it's America.
Christ, I don't even know where we are.
America, Canada, and Mexico, isn't it?
To be honest, I don't even know what's going on. Yeah, it's all over the place, isn't it? So, that'd be a good. Are we qualified for that? We are now, aren't we?
England? I think so. Yeah.
God, that was boring. England, terrible.
Yeah, I think people expect too much of England, to be honest.
What? Oh, no.
Just
not with some of the players.
Yeah, but
I don't expect us to be winning everything, but I expect them to turn up and play football.
Yeah, I think apart from Venables in '96 and the Euros, who has brought the best out of this England team, really? I mean, Southgate. He did well, but he was slated by the fans all the time.
Yeah, but it was still drab football.
Yeah, but what do you want? Do you want success or do you want exciting football? I mean, it's a very difficult thing.
Say the same with Southampton, though.
Well, look at Kevin Keegan at Newcastle. If the opposition has scored 6, Newcastle has scored 7. Really entertaining football, really good.
Well, that's what Saints used to be in the 80s and 90s. Though,
yeah, massively good position Newcastle were in, but they blew it. So do you want, if Newcastle would have played boring for a couple of games and won 1-0, they'd have won the Premier League. But they go all out attack, and it is very, very exciting football. But there's, what do you want? Do you want success with boring football? Like we had under Claude?
I mean, yeah, but look at Spain.
Claude Puel.
Well,
if when Claude Puel came in, but yeah, if when he came in, people would have said, would you take an EFL final and an 8th place finish? We'd have ripped their arm off. But after the EFL final, when we were already safe and we're loitering around 8th place, it wasn't good enough. So it's really is a bizarre thing. I think that then
look at what we've had since then. It's been downhill.
Apart from maybe 1.5 seasons with Hassan Hootel, it's not been enough. Because Puel was after Poch and Koeman, wasn't he? Yeah. So
who else did we have after that? We had Mark Hughes as well.
Pellegrino, whatever his name was. Yeah. We had that other clown, didn't we? Who was that?
Nathan Jones.
No.
Nathan Jones.
No.
Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones is a real weird one because he was hated by the fans as soon as he came. Was he ever actually given a chance? He had 9 games in charge.
I didn't feel like Man City out the cup. Start with actually, I quite liked that he was a straight talker.
Knocked Man City out the cup. Knocked Crystal Palace out the FA Cup. Won away at Everton.
Best form in Europe.
Best manager in Europe, wasn't he?
I just think it showed that he was actually a bit of a lunatic.
I think he's a narcissist, to be honest, because he loves the camera on him. As we saw in the playoff final, on his knees and and he relies a lot on God for his luck as a football manager, and that's fine if that's what you believe. So everybody has different. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, everybody has different beliefs, but I personally don't feel that he had a fair crack at the whip at Southampton because he was hated by the fans. It was a cheap choice, to be honest. It really was a cheap choice.
It wasn't. I think that obviously last season and that. Yeah, but I think obviously, it's well documented. All the Sports Republic ones have been a bit more.
Who followed Jones? Who was in after Jones?
Sellers, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Sellers, yeah. Yeah,
And
then,
he's just got a job.
yeah, we'll see him next season, won't we?
Who did he go to? Wasn't Sheffield, was it?
Do you know, I don't know.
Yeah, he's got
Can't
a job
remember.
though. He's got a job.
No, because Rowe hasn't officially left Sheffield United yet, has he?
No, I'll find out.
I
Got
don't
Google
believe.
here.
No, Sellers went to. I can't remember where he went.
Ruben Sellers.
Somewhere that people. Oh, Sheffield United.
It is Sheffield, yeah.
Yeah, Sheffield United.
There you
Yeah,
go.
not Sheffield
Yeah.
Wednesday. So, yeah, very. You turn the light off.
Yeah, don't know where YouTube's gone. Can't see yourself there. Oh no, it's on that strat.
Oh, there we go. We got it back.
Found you.
Yeah, strange choice for me for that Sheffield United. I didn't think Chris Wilder had done a lot wrong. But yeah, it's strange to sack him and bring in Ruben Sellers, who, I mean, he didn't do a lot, did he, at Hull, really? Struggled with Hull. They obviously see something in him, so we'll see.
Obviously, there's not a lot of money around, is there? Clearly.
No, I don't think there is, to be honest. I don't think there's a lot of money around in the Championship. I think we're fortunate because I don't know if you saw the interview with Dragon Solak, did you, last week with Adam Blackmore?
I've seen bits and bobs. I haven't watched the whole thing.
No, very good, very interesting.
That is on our list to discuss
Very,
after Fixtures.
yeah, very interesting interview. I thought Dragon came across really, really well.
I think
it
clearly
would pay,
cares.
Yeah, he does care, but I think it would pay a lot of the Saints fans to let Dragon get on with it, because I think he's recognised the mistakes he's made, or recognised the mistake that the group has made. He said he never really wanted to be involved, but now he's got himself involved.
I think he's it's one of them things like when you get given a car or something like that, and you're like, oh, you know, you needed a car, but then you fall in love with it. And I think that he might have started to fall in love with Saints and the passion and what goes on.
I think
I don't think he was like, oh, really want that.
He sounded like he was very impressed with the fan base from last season, with the numbers that kept turning up and things like that. It sounded like he was
money in the pocket there.
Yeah, but that's the choice we make, isn't it? We don't have to go, do we? We don't have to go to these
but I would
games.
like it if people kept paying me.
Yeah, true.
Chloe, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan, Chris and Jimmy. Okay, Chloe, very good.
Well done, Chloe.
Got to figure out how to ban her, haven't we?
No, you can't ban her. She is your biggest fan, Cheese. I don't know what I mean is she's the biggest fan of your cheese, is what I mean.
About that either. Right. So yeah, I think.
Chloe, you looking forward to the Pompey game?
Oh yeah, Chloe.
Home or away? Which one are you looking forward to going to?
It should be a ball girl next year.
I don't know. They don't know yet. No, don't know.
The way that they've behaved this year.
Ball assistant, please.
Yeah, ball assistant.
You can't assume Chloe's gender.
Home.
You're not looking forward to going to Fratton then, Chloe? Not for the derby? First time down there for the derby? Not the first time you've been to Fratton, but first time. No. You're very, very. You're really good with words, Chloe. Singular words.
Very good.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
The interview. I've got no problems with him sticking about if he's interested in building, which clearly he is. There's a few things going on around the club.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on back of house. The recruitment team is having a bit of a shake-up as well.
Yeah, he made it very clear that he doesn't want to sell the club. He's got no interest in selling the club, which is great. For me, that's good. The whole Turk, Saudi Arabian geezer was a bit of a pipe dream, I think. But he's now he's turned his attention to Bristol City now, which
there was truth in it though. I mean, like obviously some people have turned around and said it was all false news. It wasn't. At the end of the day, some stuff was said, and as a fan base, you're going to be interested. I personally, I'm not interested in Saudi Arabian management. I don't really care about the money. I want to see English or as close to English as we can. It's not going to happen these days, but I want to see somebody local, if anything.
You're not funny, Chloe. Not funny at all.
Yeah, I'd love a local owner who really loved it, and wanted to do it. But sometimes they can make a right pig's ear of it as well, I suppose. So it is what it is.
Yeah, they can. And I think it's very, very difficult. I think as the Hollywood guys have seen, it's just a money pit, isn't it, really?
Interesting how they've managed to avoid PSR and all that. But
yeah, I haven't watched any of This Is Wrexham or Welcome to Wrexham, whatever it is it's called. documentary series.
No,
that's
I
been
haven't.
about them, but
Actually, interestingly, my girlfriend has.
actually,
Yeah.
well, you obviously bought her, don't you? So she's got to do something
Yeah.
when you're around the house.
Yeah, nice one. Well, I'm not around the house. It's a problem, I think.
Well, that's true, yeah.
I think she's completed Netflix.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all.
She's working her way through Amazon now or whatever
that's
it's
good.
on.
Tell her to start with Clarkson's Farm was brilliant.
Oh, she's done that. Yeah, she's done
No,
that.
I think it must be very difficult and to stay within the PSR because there was an article I read today about Van Nistelrooy that Leicester have got to wait until the last day of July to sack him. Otherwise, they'll get penalised points for 2 managerial payouts in a year. So not quite sure how we got away with that with the 2 that we sacked, Martin and Juric. And I'm not sure Juric sacked. I don't know whether there's something in his contract that said that he would
get sacked.
He would leave if we were relegated.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Which perhaps he should have left the first day he walked through the door. Really, perhaps he should we had a bit of a revolving door.
Did you see about Aston Villa trying to sell off their women's team for like 200 million or something stupid?
No, I didn't see that.
To meet PSR regulations. I mean, isn't that just wrong? Like that you could
sell
sell off
it should
something
be a different entity, shouldn't it?
But it's not worth 200 million.
No, it's not. I think the female side of the game has really taken off, and I think it's great. I think when you have 60,000 at Arsenal's ground for Arsenal ladies, and Saints have broken their attendance record a couple of times this season. It's good. It's good that the women's game. It's been a hard slog for the women's game to get it where it is now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not being chauvinistic, but I don't think it will ever be as big as the men's game. Not really. The ladies certainly won't earn the money that the men earn out of football. But I think it's a great, and the Euro, the women's Euros was fantastic. Not because England won, the whole tournament was brilliant. There was some great football played, and the attendances were huge, and that was really, really good. And it is coming on in leaps and bounds. I think with people like Jill Scott out there, she's very down to earth, and I think she's one of the better ambassadors for the women's game, rather than people like Eni Aluku and things like that.
Let's hit a couple of
ladies' games?
Ladies' games.
More than happy to.
Are we allowed to call it ladies' games?
Southampton women, aren't they?
Okay.
I don't know.
We're allowed to call it women. That's all right.
Not that we'll go and watch the not men's team.
Not the they them.
Yeah. Not the non-binary team.
Not the first.
The she her team.
Not the male. I don't know what we have to call it. We could hit one up and I'll do a vlog on it or
Chloe's
something.
Ball girl, a lot of them, ball assistants, sorry, a lot of them. We used to go out to Tottenham to watch them as well when their home ground was out there. But yes, they've got some decent little players.
Yeah. Do you see that? What's her name? Is it Alicia Lehmann? She's Swiss or something.
Yeah, I know who
that
you mean.
Swiss national team played, whoever it was, played an under-17s boys team.
Yeah.
And got trampled like 7-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
I mean,
read into that what you will.
Right, exactly. Let's move on, mate, before we get killed by the girls. So on the list, we have next got Carl Walker-Peters. For me, I just want to...
Yeah, brilliant servant to the club.
Legend.
Consummate professional. Really good. Never moaned. Well, that as well. Yeah. Never moaned.
You just don't know what the other word means.
No, I don't. Don't know what any words mean.
Concubine.
Yeah, just never moaned, never whinged, never tried to force a move, never was outspoken about anything that was happening. He'll be a great miss to us, and I thank him for the 5.5 years of his career he gave to us. He deserved so much better. Yeah. And I hope he goes on and has a successful career.
I think probably 99% or 100%. Well, I can't say 100. I've not seen one bad word said about him. I think there's been a few about when we renew his contract, and the man doesn't want to stay, and that's fine. But
he was very, very loyal when we went down last time, and he was outstanding.
And he could have got a job somewhere else.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah. He could have gone to. I think he maybe aside from the top 6, I think he could pretty much walk into any team in the Premier League. Yeah. Highly rumoured he's going to Fulham, and which if he does,
I think he'd do well in that team then.
I think he would do well in any team he went to. Yep. Really, he's just a head down, get on with it player. Yeah, and I wish him all the best for the future.
He's been perfect, and I'll tell you what, mate. At the end of them games, you know, this season doing these vlogs, I've stuck about for the end of the game because I wanted to be able to give people a picture. I think there's one game actually where we left slightly early, and I think every one of them, I think most of the time he has come round and thanked the fans.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just head down, straight down that tunnel. Him and Ramsdale have been really good.
I think Rambo's given his shirt and his gloves away every game. And
he has, yeah, and he comes right up to the crowd as well.
Yeah.
Everybody else seems to be a bit scared, but Carl Walker-Peters, he's been great.
Really wish him all the best.
And I think he could kick on and do even better than what he's done at Saints.
Well, he's just sort of coming into his prime now. What is he, 27, 28 years old? So he's sort of coming into his prime now, and it'll be good for him to.
Adam Lallana retiring. Now, what did you think when Adam Lallana left?
I mean, it was a long time ago, wasn't it? I think a lot of the Saints fans still hold a bit of a grudge against him.
How did you feel when he decided to get on?
I thought it was a mistake from the club, really, because it was at the time where we were sort of kicking on with a decent manager, and then we started asset stripping the club. A few players I think went to Liverpool that summer.
Is that Lambert went?
I don't think he engineered a move, Lallana, but I think his head was certainly turned by Liverpool. I think the full page advert in the Echo was a little bit of a big-headed thing to do. It just. But I suppose,
he had been captain for that. What, the promotion year? He was captain.
Yeah, I believe he was.
Is that right?
Yeah, and he did one season in the Premier League with us before he went to Liverpool. Yeah. Again, it's just sort of living in the past, really, isn't it?
It is. But to be honest, he came back, and straight away when he came on the pitch, he got his head down because there were some boos and things like that. He got his head down and he
Alison was just saying she's glad he's gone, but he's not actually gone because he's our assistant manager.
Yeah, he is now. Alison, he's one of the coaches.
It said on the thing that was published that day that he's his first team assistant manager. Him and Paul Trollope, was it?
Yeah, Paul Trollope, who had been
a wealth of experience.
He's been around a fair bit, which is pretty good. I don't know whether Will Steele's appointed him.
I don't know. It seems seems strange that wherever Will Steele's been, his two brothers have been with him, but not as Saints. Doesn't look like.
I think maybe one of them just got a contract elsewhere. And
I think
they can't break it or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, Adam Lallana. I'm happy for him staying in the coaching setup.
I think Lallana was criminally underused last season if he was fit. I mean, he's a 60-minute or a 30-minute player, and whenever we needed him for
there were games.
Leicester at home is a massive example of that. Yeah. I mean, we were 2-0 up and not cruising at half time. We were 2-0 up, and I think when Leicester started to come back at us, he brought Smallbone on, and I think at that point you really need to bring the experience of Adam Lallana on to calm the game down and to have that voice. I mean, I think Smallbone had a bit of a nightmare every time he came off the bench for Saints last season. Really, Arsenal was another last time game of the season is another example of that. If he just never seems to be able to get into the game when he comes on. But Lallana for me was a little bit underused last season, which was a shame, really, because I think he had the wealth of experience that we really could have done with.
I think what we've probably realised is that whilst we didn't quite have that striker, we haven't had a creative attacking midfielder.
We haven't had that experience in the middle of the park either.
Yeah, since Stuart Armstrong went, it's seeing them balls, seeing when things are opening up a little bit. Of course, if somebody's not in the right position, nothing's opening up anyway. But even like a little dink around the corner, can completely change it.
I didn't go to Brentford away, but I was able to get a good understanding of what happened in the game, and it sounded like when Lallana came on, he was very, very good. He got the assist for Sugawara's goal, I think, and it sounded like he was good when he came, even though the game was probably gone by the time he came on. I think we lost 4 or 5. Was it 4-1? We lost away at Brentford early in the season. But yeah, it's one of those. We didn't need him on the payroll as a player for next season, I don't feel, and I think for him to go on the payroll as a coach, bringing that wealth of experience that he's got, it could help. It could certainly help Will Steele to have someone like Lallana next to him.
I think so.
Yeah, and I think
and he'll hopefully have got to know a few of the younger players and things like that.
Yeah, well, I think the idea was he was going to come in and finish his UEFA Pro license and then go into coaching anyway.
Exactly that. I think that was so. But the odd thing on the back of all this is obviously we had Rusk taking control, and so he was previous to that, the youth manager.
Yeah,
And
well, Rusk is gone now.
He's
and
gone.
I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, I think
Massively
after them
arrogant
games, I think, and there's definitely been some arguments about this, and I will stand my ground. He did not cover himself in glory, and I know every other manager before him didn't either, but just the setup and everything like that was exactly what we've seen from every single person.
Well, we had three
managers
last season that were essentially exactly the same. We had Russell Martin's style of play, which a lot of the players had played with the previous season, and Juric came in and tried to change that, but
took it a bit too far. That man marking thing pulled everyone out.
As I've said previously to you, I think Rusk should have just thrown the playbook out the window. We were gone when he took over, but we still had this sideways football tippy-tappy nonsense for the 7 or 8 games that he was in charge of. What is the point? You might as well say to your players, right, we're going to throw it out the window, go out there, give these fans some entertainment, go and enjoy yourselves, score some goals. Let's see if we can get a result.
Try and have a go.
I mean, Leicester away was just the epitome of crap
management for me. I was
for me.
So angry.
Leicester away was the worst game. And the whole Matty Fernandez debacle as well. He hasn't been well all week, 2 days previous. Any new injury concerns, Simon? No, none at all. No, fully fit squad. You think, okay. We're not idiots in the stand. Some of us know a little bit about football. I'm not saying all football fans know about football, but we're not. And I think then Simon Rusk lost the fans. Then
that's it. And I think once you do that, or the fans feel like they're being made fun of to a degree, or somebody's taking the mickey. I think it changes. Like for me, it did. Like I really was. I wanted Juric to come in and do well, and then first couple of games, them away games over Christmas and whatnot. I thought, okay, we're going to do something here.
Well, the first away game we had, actually, Rusk was in charge, wasn't it? Fulham. We went to Fulham and got a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
And we actually played okay. The style of play, because previous to that, we played Liverpool in the Cup, haven't we? And we lost, I think it was 3-2, and we played a lot better. There was a slightly different style of play. Went to Fulham and seemed to continue that on. And then we went to Palace, and again, it was individual errors.
1-0.
On Boxing Day.
1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, Boxing Day.
But again, I think we looked a lot better than we had done. And it was quite enjoyable to watch.
There was an article that I read from a football coach when Russell Martin left that said it will take between 3 to 6 months to coach that style of play out of those players. And I don't think from when Martin left through Rusk the first time and then Juric and Rusk again, I mean Rusk just seemed to implement exactly what Russell Martin did, and it was pathetic. We went down with such a whimper with Juric, and usually when teams go down, the pressure's off and they play a little bit better and they pick up a win. But we never looked like doing that.
We just looked scared.
We looked like a team devoid of ideas, but being led by management that were devoid of ideas.
Did you see that article from Taylor Harwood-Bellis?
Yeah, I did. I think there was a lot of media training.
Yeah, I think he's saying the right things.
I think he is.
He did. That championship season, he was good.
Yeah, he was.
He was well off of it.
But is he another player that sort of proved last season that they're very good championship players and not quite ready Premier League? The way I look at it is this: we've signed all these players from Manchester City: Samuel Dozie, Gavin Bazunu, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and there's
a boy that's injured. Larius.
Did he come from City? Did he?
I think he did.
And when you look at players like that, you feel that if they were, I don't want to say any good, if they were good enough, they'd be knocking on Man City's door. They would be being sold to us for 10 million, 15 million.
I think Man City have got the one of the biggest, best academies out there now for recycling players. Basically they're home growing them, and this is where a lot of their money is coming in now for them to spend silly money, because they're bringing so many young players through and being able to sell them on, and that's going straight into the first team's money.
Yeah, and haven't they just released Scott Carson after 5 or 6 years or whatever it is? I think he's played something like 11 games. Yeah, I mean,
and won more trophies than he's played games.
I mean, they've been paying the guy 30 grand a week for 5 years. Who's not going to take that gig? I mean, it's fantastic. I know it doesn't really forward your career, but
I think
I applaud you, Scott Carson, for what you did at Man City. It's brilliant.
So Russ going. I'm surprised he has, because I thought that there was going to be a position there for him.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't go back into the under-21s,
exactly.
under-18s coach. But maybe Saints have looked at it and thought, perhaps he's not the right guy, because I don't think he was.
Or perhaps, to be honest, as well, he looked fed up with the way the fans were being. Like, but the fans looked absolutely peed off.
But we wanted something for those last 7 games.
Yeah, we did.
And we got nothing.
And he almost seemed to take it. He looked like, I could see like some of the remonstrating he was doing, and when the crowd were doing the Fernandes thing, he was kind of like, "I'll get lost," kind of thing. And I feel like actually he is walking away more than being given something.
But this is the issue that Will Steele's got. He's got the same issue that Russell Martin, when he came in, he's got to get the fans back on side first. And Russell Martin did have the fans on side for probably a season and a quarter.
Well, to be fair though, mate, I mean, remember Middlesbrough away?
Middlesbrough away is probably one of the worst examples of last season.
I hated that. I hated that when the players came over after that Middlesbrough away game, Jan Bednarik came over and he got the boos that were meant for Russell Martin. And Jan Bednarik looked so upset and angry, and he just turned and stomped off. I've always felt bad about that.
Jan Bednarik is another one that I think will be a big miss in the Championship. He's one of a number. You could argue that Smallbone is a very good Championship player. Maybe not very good, a good Championship player, but he's not able to make that the natural progression to the Premier League. He's just not able to make that with the ability that he's got.
Yeah, I think it's with Will. I think it's hard when picking out particular players and saying things, but athleticism from him, that strength or putting a challenge in, that's all I've ever said from him. If I saw him getting stuck in a bit more, I think that I would feel a lot more comfortable with him being squad player.
But under Martin in the Championship, he was ever present. He was
getting forward a bit more. Wasn't
he? Yeah. Well, look at the goal we scored in the playoff second leg against West Brom.
Yep.
He was able.
There's
to
elements
dig
of his play that really work.
Yeah, he was able to dig in more in the Championship, and I don't think he's got the talent to be able to do that in the Premier League.
I think he's actually a smart footballer, if I'm honest.
But not in the Premier League.
No. But in terms of he does the right things. He keeps himself in space to receive the ball. Where that ball then goes isn't what I would want.
Wasn't it his ball that put Adam Armstrong through for the goal? It came from Bellis and then into Flynn Downs. And
it was a diag.
It was working the space, wasn't it?
He's very good at that. But sometimes when you're in that space, you're also not close enough to deal with any problems.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes the best players will be that far from their player.
Yeah, of course.
And then be able to turn them or jostle them and move. But, Will, exactly what I have to do that on the pitch because I'm not fast enough. Yeah. But, also with Will, he is kind of, I feel like he has kind of got one speed. I don't. I think
you're right there.
You don't see him turn it on. So, but he does. His timing is also very good.
He doesn't have any natural urgency about him.
He just appears.
Yeah, he does.
And sometimes he appears in the right places.
But most of last season, he appeared in the wrong places.
It was the wrong time, the wrong.
Yeah.
And got knocked off. What was it? That last. Was it one of the last goals?
It was the last goal of the season when Arsenal scored.
Got brushed off.
Martinelli or Odegaard?
Odegaard.
Went past
Odegaard's a bloody good player.
And who was it? Him that was at fault for Leicester's third goal when they beat us 3-1. He was just stood on the penalty spot, not marking his man.
Yeah.
So, but let's hope that a different coach in Will Steele can sort of start to manufacture the best out of these players again.
I just want to see them get stuck in, mate. That's all.
Well, you want to see your players dying for the shirt, and we haven't had that really since maybe Koeman. I mean, the players would come off the pitch knackered when Koeman was here because he would demand that.
Look back to when we had Tadic in the team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And crikey, that team, we would all die for that team right now and the way it was. But Tadic was one of them players that always infuriated me because he wouldn't put in a challenge.
Yeah.
People would call him weak. Do you remember when he got called weak and then he took his shirt off in that game and he was like, like that, and he was just like a little skinny man.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, that just because your muscles are on show doesn't mean you're strong. But
No, it doesn't. No.
it's like
Chloe's
I
asked.
just wanted him to put a challenge in.
Yeah.
And if he could do that and nick that ball back like Matty Fernandez can,
Yeah.
and then play his balls, I think he would have been phenomenal. I mean, he might have ended up going to Ajax and winning all this and that with them.
But is that not a minimum requirement from a footballer? You want them to bust their balls while they're out on that pitch?
Because that's my opinion.
But I don't think.
Are they too busy nursing their body?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but I just think that there's something that's got to be reinstilled into that team next season with wanting to die for that shirt. Really.
I need a beer.
Yeah. So Chloe's asking, what do we think about Adam Armstrong coming back? There's been bits this week saying that he could potentially leave the club if a decent offer comes in. They might consider selling him. I mean, is that a bit of a new broom sort of sweeps clean with Will Steele coming in?
Yeah.
I mean, again,
he can't play through the centre.
Again, with Adam Armstrong, very, very good championship player. Will score you lots of goals in the championship. 24 in the championship season, and an absolute boatload of assists and goal contributions as well. I mean, get him playing. He wasn't really much at West Brom, I didn't think.
But would you want him? Let's think about this. Okay, he'd have to play on the right wing. All right.
Yeah.
He's not going to play on the left. I'd imagine Adozie might end up there potentially, or somebody else.
I see Sam Mamu Awayo.
Sam Mamu, right?
He's finalised his move away to Strasbourg. Was it today?
Fair play.
Yeah, 10 million euros.
Really?
Yeah, potentially rising to 13.
But again, that's pure money for us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But
I'd like to see
Armstrong.
I'd like to see him back doing something in the team. I don't think he's captain material.
I think he's got.
Now.
I think he's got. No, he's not. I think he's got to the next transfer window to show he can do something, and I don't know when his contract runs out. But
no, I don't.
I think I can't begrudge him because he does play and he does. I think he does care.
And we also got this this top secret striker that is apparently on the verge of
Stewart.
No, this yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be nice to see him next season.
I was quite happy with him in that
against Arsenal last game of the season. He actually looked fit.
There was a couple of games that I was very happy with him, and some people said he was rubbish. I disagree. It's like he was really like holding up some play.
Yeah.
He looked strong. He looked on it. And I really enjoyed his performance.
But again, are we looking at maybe? I mean, we signed him from Sunderland on the back of a good season in the Championship. Are we again looking at Championship quality with him? I know we scored in the Premier League, but again, Adam Armstrong was also scored in the Premier League. I think the one player that we didn't replace was maybe Shay Adams.
Well, he's coming back.
Well, I mean, it's been rumoured, isn't it, that he's coming back to England. I mean, is he the top secret striker that everybody's talking about?
Shay Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, Shay Adams.
Shay Adams.
Sorry, mate. Who am I thinking of? Shay
idea.
Charles.
Oh, no, Shay Adams.
Oh, Shay Adams. Would I want him back in our team? No.
But it's rumoured that he could be leaving Torino or Torino.
Well, maybe it might be, but
every ex-Saints player that leaves the club is always rumoured to be coming back.
Yeah, but he's not a legend, is he? So
no, he's not. But when you look at him and Armstrong's contributions in the Championship season, they scored 40 goals between them.
How many did Shay Adams get?
16 goals he got. Oh yeah. So how out of our present strike force, who is going to score us 40 goals in the Championship next season? Ross Stewart and Cameron Archer? Doubtful. 14 maybe.
I'd be interested with the Cam Archer thing.
We need an out striker.
Do you know the biggest problem with Shay Adams was he wasn't always that clinical. He had lovely technique. Like some of the times that he was striking that ball was fantastic. But it always ended up down the keeper's throat.
Look at the amount of important goals he scored in that Championship season. Plymouth away, 94th minute. Birmingham City got us back to 3-0.
Was he coming off the bench for them?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was for Plymouth.
You know, and that's something
Plymouth was very early in the season because Nathan Teller got him on the goal with Plymouth.
But this is something that we went into, is that we went in with a Premier League fitness team, and it just started going downhill when
they never looked fit
Russell
Martin.
We were terribly unfit, but we were still stronger in terms of our bench players coming off.
Was it style of play that made them unfit? I'll leave it with the audience.
I mean, if you're going to roll it, so you're going to let me have
take that off
this time.
Yeah.
So I've got his mic because he gave it off. Right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Adam Armstrong coming back. For me, I'm not that fussed about it. But we have to consider transfers, how much money we've got, what's coming in, what's going out. I think the squad could do quite well next season, regardless. So Alison, you've popped up and said you are glad he's gone. Not my cup of tea. So you're talking about Adam Lallana there. Hello in the chat, Alan Wilcox. Got a fair few of you on now, which is good. Chris is going to get a beer, and then we're going to finish off our list, and then we're going to wrap up. So I appreciate everybody coming today. I've not done many videos recently. I suppose I could do some transfer news and things like that, but just had a good couple of weeks away without YouTube, which has been quite nice. So I am actually looking forward to what the club are going to do whilst we're not there. With regards to around the stadium, this year was a really big one for us in terms of putting in new things, new products, and I was so happy with some of the additions. The fan zone for me was absolutely fantastic, and I know that there was some like little things with disability access and things, and I certainly had a few people saying that to me, that they just couldn't get through. There was one day when I was trying to help move crowds out of the way for an ambulance to come through, but I believe they're going to be extending that fan zone, and it needs to be bigger, because actually you can't really get in there on game day. If you're there a little bit later than when it opens, all them seats are taken. For me, the music is a touch too loud sometimes, but if you're there for the music, you're there for the music. But yeah, really positive. There's one thing that I didn't see, and you might have seen it on the menu, is that they were meant to be doing this thing called a stromboli, and I can't remember really what it was, but I never actually saw it. I did go on a hunt around the stadium into different places for it, and they just didn't do it. So I think a few different menu things would be good. One thing I didn't like them doing is where we were in the Northern stand, is they started doing French fries, chips in our area. And there were some days where I think they were clearly having extraction fan issues, and it literally just smelt like a chip shop in there. It was like pretty nasty. So yeah, Alan, you're just saying that you need to push it back to the car park. That's exactly true. They need to push it back a little bit, maybe nick some of them spaces, and I haven't seen all of them spaces being used. I have looked, and there have been on match day some spare. So if they can make them a lot better and bigger, I think that they will increase revenue there, as they have done. And that revenue stream is going to be very, very important for us. Do you know what I would like to see in there? Table dancing. We haven't had anything in Southampton like that since Jumping Jacks. No, I'm joking. I think the round the other side, we went into the family zone, I think, on the last day. Couldn't hear a thing. It was so loud, and we were just going about, just trying to find a chill spot to have a chat, and it was generally quite loud. Kingsland is fine. I haven't been into the gasworks this year, and what I really liked when the gasworks first opened, me and my dad used to go to football. We had a season ticket for years together, and when it first opened, they used to do these platters of food, a combo platter, and on there you'd have, I can't remember if it had a bit of brisket, mac and cheese, Just all of them, some wings and things like that, just a few different trimmings, and it was absolutely fantastic. And so we used to have them, and we'd get there for like 12 o'clock or whatever. We'd have our table, and then we'd have a few beers, and it would come to like match time, and we would just be like, not sure we're going to make the match, because we were just so full up from eating these like big trays of food, and it was just absolute carnage. Cheers, Chris, mate. Finally got the beers in again. Oh no, wait, it's always around, isn't it? A queue at the bar. I was just saying to the chat that when the gasworks opened and you could get the food in there, did you ever get the food platter?
No,
you didn't. It was like a really good platter. If I could pull it up and put it on screen, I would, but I haven't got that. Share screen. I'm not sharing my screen.
Why not?
Because I don't want to see what's on that next tab.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Porn Hub, is it?
No, it's not Porn Hub. Hub porn.
It is.
Alrighty then. So yeah, we've
Next
pretty
topic.
much done it. We've done pretty much most of the list. The kit launch prediction. So we spoke about this the other week.
Yeah, we did. Still nothing's changed, really, is it?
Nothing has, and I don't expect it. Apart from I keep seeing in some of the Facebook groups, kit being on sale, like
in
red
China.
and white.
Yeah.
And it probably is.
Like, more than likely.
Probably is.
I'd like to see the 3 that they launched. I think that'd be really, really good.
Which one would you get one?
The blue and yellow away kit, yeah. I like that. We used to love that kit when it was Sanderson. So yeah, we'd love to have that kit again.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Was it Sanderson or Dimplay?
You see it's white on the back.
Yeah, and apparently white on the back with white lettering and numbers as well.
Yeah, so obviously in the Premier League, you're not allowed to have stripes on the back.
No, you're not, no.
So that the referees can
Why is that?
clear, and they also had to be in a certain font.
Just Alan's comment there. The new Dell seems to be doing really well.
Yeah. Well, we've got something to say about that, haven't we? Really?
Well, I've got a couple of things to say about that.
Don't knock my beer over.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, a couple of things to say about that.
Cheers,
really.
Everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
We went down. When did we go down for the Euro final? Didn't we? The Champions League final.
We did.
Yeah. And we went. Yeah, we did. We weren't overly enamoured with the burgers, were we?
Oh no, actually, we were really upset with that.
But I have to say, went down on Father's Day with with my father and a few of our family members.
How is your father?
He's all right. Yeah, he's good. And the food was amazing. The food was brilliant. Yeah.
Did you have a burger?
No, I had the Sunday roast, and I have to say, the Sunday roast is bloody amazing down there. It's lovely.
Yeah, but you sent me a Ploughman's food the other day. Was you thinking that Ploughman's looked good?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
okay.
but I'm not a food connoisseur like you.
It's not about being a connoisseur, but it's about knowing. What we'll do is we'll do a Ploughman's off.
What, a plough? No, I won't do a Ploughman because I've never made a plough. I'll give you a coleslaw.
No, I don't mean at home. No, we'll visit both them places.
Oh yeah,
but the one that I want to take you to is a Royal Oak in Fritham. So it's out in the New Forest, and it's got some top quality cheese in there, and they make all of their own bits and bobs. They do quiches.
Okay.
It's a place where people go in the summer, well, all year round, and it's walkers go there. The Royal Oak in Fritham.
Also, I was going to say to you, I think it's next Wednesday night, the 2nd. Matt Letizier is hosting the monthly quiz in the Dell.
Well, I've got a curry night with Matt the next night.
So I don't know if I can do
2 nights in a row. Yeah.
That's like a bit of a stalker. But yeah, I was going to see if you wanted to do that maybe next Tuesday. We could take the girls down. Chloe's got a good bit of knowledge.
My girl and your girl?
My girl and your... Well, my girls and your girl.
Book a table.
Okay.
If you can't get one, I'll get Matt to do it.
No, I'll put one. It's fine. I'm down there. I'm down that way tomorrow morning. I've got to go to the builders merchant across on it. Second.
Bran might be busy that night. So.
Well, she's busy. She still have to come, does she?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I have no problem with that. As long as
we might need another body because there'll only be 4 of us.
Do you have to have 5?
No, but I'm just saying, more brains are better, aren't they? Who else do we know?
You need me.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I've got any other friends apart from me.
Yeah, I was going to say. Matt loves a quiz as well, though.
He's hosting it, so I think we should go down. Be good. I'll book us in.
See if you can get us a table then.
Yeah, I'm in this.
So on the Dell bar, I've had went down on that launch night, and it was very good. Been a couple of times before that,
Yep.
and it was pretty decent.
Yep.
Now, what used to happen is on the match day, to start with, I think they were £12.50 or something like that, and you would get some food and a drink, and then that quickly went up to £20 for food and a drink. And I thought, well, a drink's £7, that gives you food at £13 for a burger and chips. I thought, great, it went up to 25, and then it went up to £30.
But we're talking about match day, aren't we? I mean, you can go there, like ours. I mean, we spent a fair bit of money, but on a lot of food when we went there, didn't we? We didn't, because you had a couple of sides, and we had the extra poutine chips as well.
Oh yeah, no, we did want to try a couple of bits.
Yeah, we did. But I noticed they've been advertising they've got a new menu.
But the chips
as well.
were okay, and the wings were okay.
It was all
but the burger that we had it last time, I think it was the burgers from in the stadium.
I think the standard had been up
were
for
just
Father's
absolutely
Day.
Terrible.
Yeah, the standard had been up for Father's Day. It was really, really nice on Father's Day. There were 2 separate sit-ins. It wasn't massively big. It was busy, but it wasn't packed out busy. But there were 8 of us went down, and all plates were clean, and it was nice. So, but yeah, I'm down that way tomorrow morning. I've got to go to the Builders Merchant down there, so I'll shoot in there and I'll book a table for Wednesday night.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
So yeah, let's do that.
If we've got any other quizzes in the chat, give us a shout.
Yeah, we need everybody we can find.
Yeah, turn up with 13 of us.
Yeah, it'd be fun. There's 13 people in the chat, 15 with me and you.
Yeah.
So happy days. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, right. I said a minute ago about the new facilities around the stadium, and yeah, basically it needs to be extended and go back a bit further, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think it would take a lot for that. It just looks like a Meccano set, to be honest, doesn't it? Yeah,
most of it is really, and it's easy now. I think. Let's see if the hype is still there for the fans' homes in that next season. I think it will be, and I think it's a gradual improvement on everything. Really, they've obviously had a lot of feedback about the beer. They've got new beer.
If anything, it's too busy.
The Northern is definitely too busy.
But even around Kingsland on a nice sunny day, you can't move. Like from about 2 o'clock, the queues are ridiculous.
But that is peak time, isn't it? 2 o'clock, really. An hour before kickoff.
What I want to do is a quick shout out to the Quackers and all the other stalls around the stadium.
Yep.
And so Quackers, what is it? This is their second season?
I believe
around
so,
there.
yeah.
So
yeah.
Second one or something like that. And they've had their little stalls and they've done like chicken and fries, these things.
Duck wraps.
Duck wraps.
Which was great, wasn't it? This is why we don't have many people in the chat. You see.
Yeah. But then they've had Sanja, which is a restaurant in Shirley, who are very nice.
The churros wagon's always
churros wagon. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, I love churros.
But these things have all kind of come in the last couple of seasons. And my opinion is, and I don't want to put the club down or anything like that, the quality of the burgers on these things are fantastic. Like the Quackers burgers, it's obviously a nice bit of meat, but they're using Saint-Pierre brioche rolls, fresh salad. The Indian stall, they're selling fresh homemade samosas.
Oh yeah,
everything's fantastic.
Yeah, I had Indian before the Crystal Palace game, didn't I? And it was amazing.
It's a fantastic.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Although it can be a bit touch hit and miss, like if the rice is a little overdone or whatever. But again, it's from a catering van. I think they're doing very, very well.
Most catering vans are hit and miss, aren't they? Really.
Sometimes they can have an off day.
But it's nice to have that external choice around the ground.
Exactly, because
rather than just burger vans in every corner.
And I don't want. I'm not being negative, but inside, I think it's just not been up to it.
It hasn't moved with what's happened outside, has it?
Not
really?
At all.
No.
And I think the club need to just acknowledge that and think that they probably could do a bit better.
Yeah, I mean the hot dogs are generally a bit shit at the ground, aren't they? And you've got
the hot dogs are rollover ones.
Yeah, which you get in motorway services.
Yeah, but my biggest problem with that is that that's not a problem because you know what you're getting. But when you just literally get it and then the bun splits in two, so you've got like 2 bits of bun and a bloody sausage. What are you going to do with that?
Well, eat it.
Yeah,
what
but
you're
how?
supposed to do with it. You use your hands.
It's not a sandwich. And then you know the other thing that I hate, and this is probably a part of what you get with sitting in the cheap seats, is that, you know, in the Kingsland you have them big centre islands, and around the edge you have the sort of standing bar areas, and you can like literally put your drinks down whilst you get your milk and your ketchup for your bun, but we don't have that in Northern.
Oh, don't you?
No, you don't. They're like literally on this like tiny little shelf, and you've kind of got to like juggle everything.
So I've gone from the luxury of the Kingsland stand to not having anywhere to put my beer at half time in the Northern, am I?
Oh, there's one place that you should have your beer.
Outside.
Yeah, outside.
Outside.
In your belly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think so. Chris and I, we also have our tickets together this year, don't we?
We do, yeah. Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah, well, it'd be fun, I think. It's I've never sat in that part of the ground, so when you bring
your sunglasses.
Well, I did say that to you, and you said to me, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad." But I do watch your
It's not too bad.
I do watch your match day vlogs, so I do see what happens over there. But it's fine.
What happens?
Well, you got sun in your eyes for
We
most
sing
games.
and we have a jolly good time.
Well, we don't do that in the Kingsland. You see, it's all very quiet and civilized over there. But I'm going to need to.
Mate, I was in the I was in the
attitude.
Kingsland 4 years, and sometimes when you lose your shit, other people get a bit grumpy with you for being loud.
You know, I'm very calm at football.
People don't
so
really
probably
sing.
Probably wouldn't happen for me at football.
That Middlesbrough game,
very,
bring
very
it back.
calm.
But we were both very calm that game, weren't we?
not at the end of the game.
I try and I've been so good this season with the vlogs and things like that.
I think that was one of the only games.
I really reined from the beginning of the season. Like I was dropping different bombs here and there, and I've really managed to articulate myself quite nicely. So I've managed to cut out a lot of swearing. And
do you remember the video we made when at Middlesbrough when it said no alcohol?
No,
not stand here without
no standing, no alcohol, no fun.
No, it was it's not about when it's not about if you've got a pint in your hand, you're not allowed to look at the pitch.
Oh yeah,
through the tunnel.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was.
It's illegal to be in view of the pitch with a pint.
Yeah,
and you were stand next to it like with a pint, something like that. I don't know.
I was walking back down the tunnel, wasn't I?
Yeah.
He said, "What are you doing?"
You're just like wandering around. And I was like, Muppet.
It was only 600 of us there at Middlesbrough, wasn't there? So it was. I think that was probably one of the poorest turnouts for an away game, really, Middlesbrough last season.
But to be honest, it was god awful. That was probably one of the worst games, and that was. I said about it earlier, and that was the turning point because I think Russell Martin realised that he had lost that fan base right there and then.
Well, yeah, because that was on the back of the second or third defeat, wasn't it?
But he was playing players in weird positions. He wasn't playing our stronger players. He started doing that, and quite quickly things started turning around for him. And of course, he took all the glory.
I mean, the best thing about the Middlesbrough away game was the picture of you in the car coming back, which is just
with the donut.
An epic picture.
I literally had one donut, but I got caught with a picture of that donut.
A whole tray of donuts.
I literally was sat in the front of the car.
You did get your revenge on Chloe.
Yeah, but Chloe lent from the back of the car and went, "Do you want some donuts? Do you want a donut?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't really know about that." And so anyway, I opened it up and I had a donut and I was like literally like this, but she had a photo from coming back. So it was basically just a full face of
Costco pack of 24
pack
donuts,
of Costco.
right?
I didn't want to make a mess in the car. And
oh, don't worry about that because when we took Claire's car to Leicester, Richie poured beer all over it. So don't worry about making a mess in Claire's car.
Oh, crikey, we need to get Richie
He's fine about
We
that.
need to get Richie on the vlog. I think Richie will set us straight.
Richie's in Turkey at the moment. Looks like he's having a whale of a time.
Is he?
So yeah. Right, what are the topics we got then, Cheese?
We don't have anything. Do you have anything you would like to add?
I have nothing. I have nothing at all.
What are you looking forward to about next season?
Well, hopefully seeing a couple of wins would be nice. And just maybe...
I don't remember what that feels like, if I'm honest.
Well, you must have seen one.
I have.
So, yeah, maybe a couple of wins would be nice and a little bit of a more positive outlook going to St Mary's because it was really difficult.
It became the norm, though, didn't it? Like, that's the thing. Like, we would go out and we would just have a nice day out.
It became the norm to expect nothing, and that's not really what you want when you go to football.
That's what it did become. And
it would be nice to rock up at St Mary's thinking, well, we've got X team today. I reckon this will be a good game.
That's it. A good game, a bit of a fight, and I'll tell you what. This has been a massive learning curve for me because obviously I've been coming for years and years, but starting to do the video and then having to kind of go home and feel like you've then got to relive it. And, some of the video editing would take 5 hours.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Because I was kind of, I'd kind of had a bit of video editing behind me anyway, but knowing what I wanted to get in and how I wanted it to be, how I wanted to frame it and how I wanted the feel of the video, and to have to relive it again, sort of over and over towards the end of the season, I was just like, I can't do this tonight. I'm just going to go out, have a few beers with my mates, and I'll get to the vlog when I get to it.
Yeah,
and I needed that for my own sanity.
I think that's where sort of yourself and Martin and Mike and Jack and people like that, you're sort of little bit different league to us with the amount of time that you spend doing it, and it's really admirable. I mean, I know it looks like Rusty and Paris are going to be involved a little bit more next season, and Rods and people like that, and I think it's great. I think what you guys do is absolutely brilliant. I did just a few bits on TikTok today from Rusty and Paris, but it's and I think it just gives a different outlook. Yeah, and it. I
don't really go on TikTok.
It's a bit,
but
it shows
thing, right?
It shows the fan base in its raw state.
Yeah.
And I think you do get a few nutters on there maybe, but I think when you're doing like Martin's instant reaction videos, I think they're very honest and from the heart sometimes. And
I think Martin's become more honest. I think as the season's gone on, I think he's really shown his heart this season.
I've got a lot of time for Martin. I think he's I think he does a great. He gets a lot of stick from elements of our fan base, and that's
come and have a chat with us if you want to give him a hard time as well, because we'll set you straight.
Look, Martin's a nice guy, and he dedicates like yourself, and like I said, match day vlogs and people like they dedicate a lot of time into doing this, and you're always going to get haters, which I think is unfortunate because we are a singular fan base, really. But then it's
generally we're quite a family oriented fan base, but I do feel like it's changing a little bit. I think
there is a divide
with everything
now
in the world. There's we've certainly found that divide this season. With that whole Russell Martin in, Russell Martin out thing, and it's torn the fan base. And at that point, that's when the owners should have realised that this is toxic.
Well, it was toxic from very early on, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
They should have realised maybe in the championship with the two 4-game run defeats that we had and things like that. We should have gone up automatically. I don't think there's any other way that we should have gone up apart from automatically. And I think those
we threw some of them games away.
Those 8 games, the block of 4 at the start of the season, the block of 4 getting to it. I mean,
I can kind of understand at the beginning to a degree.
Yeah, you can.
But it was the wrong time to be doing what you're trying to do.
Right at the end of the season, when you're third in the championship, when you're going to Leicester at top and you're losing 5-0.
Yeah.
And we lost at home to Stoke last game of the season, and I know it was pretty much wrapped up by then that we were in the playoffs. But then we go away to Leeds last game of the season and we win, and we beat Leeds 3 times last season, the season before. And I think just Bristol City away. Bristol City weren't doing anything when we went there, and they beat us 3-1. Comfortably, easily, you could say.
They figured us out completely then.
But we got figured out twice in the season, didn't we? And as much as Martin...
We became a blueprint, and that blueprint was used then against us all this year. It was used against us it was used against Man City.
Do you think that we found Man City out when we went up there?
No.
But after we went up there...
I think Man City thought we were going to be an easy ride.
No, but after we went up there, everything seemed to change at Man City. They got a 1-0 victory against us, maybe a bit of a hollow victory because Cameron Archer had that brilliant chance. Yeah. City didn't really create anything that day. It was kind of I
was a bit drunk on that.
You were going to drive. When are you going to drive home? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You said, "Don't worry, mate. You have a few beers. I will drive."
Yeah.
I said, "Mate, no, it's okay. It's fine."
I've seen you drive before.
Yeah.
So
drunk.
But yeah, in your shit car. But no, I just I don't think that we found Man City out by a long mile. I think Man City
got found out roughly when we got found out, because our football style was such a similar way, but they had obviously much more talented, experienced players propping that team up.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so
they were naturally going to be harder to beat.
Yeah, they
regardless.
were. Yeah, I get that. So just coming away from that, come the end of this season coming, do you want to go straight back up? Where do you want Saints to finish?
Well, yeah,
this is...
I do, because I like competition, and I like the idea of somebody being able to compete, whether it's at work or at football, when we play football, when we're doing eating or drinking competitions. I like the fact that we should be competing and trying to do the best you can.
Did we compete in the Premier League last season?
We absolutely did not.
So is there a danger if we come straight back up again?
Could we have competed with the right tools, potentially?
Yeah,
and I'm not talking about competing for top 6. I'm talking about competing for survival, or it shouldn't even be called survival. It should be competing for not.
So what's your aspiration? So first game of the season against Wrexham, 9 months after
top 2.
that.
I would like to see. And I'm not suggesting that we can do it, but I would like to see us go straight back up without having the stress of the playoffs, because that was quite stressful. Although we had a brilliant day out at Wembley.
The playoffs was fantastic.
We had such a good day out.
Yeah, all the way through. I think.
I do think that we would. I think as a team we ought to be pushing to go straight back up, because I don't think it's our right to be in the Premier League. But I do feel that,
as one of the founder members of it,
it's still not anybody's right, mate. Like, you look at teams like Bristol City and all of these clubs that were high up in the leagues years ago, that just aren't the teams that they were.
No, just expanding what Alan said there. I think we'll go straight back up and end up like a bit of a yo-yo club. I mean, Alan, do we want that? Do we want to be a Norwich City where you're up and down all the time, and there's never really... I know we have absolutely yo-yoed in the last 3 seasons, but I wouldn't want to see us as a yo-yo club. I'd like to see us come back and try and establish again to be
I think
a Premier League
you look
club.
at Nottingham Forest, something's clicked, and a bit of manipulation and a bit of good business.
I think a good manager's clicked as well.
Yeah,
I think Nuno Espirito Santo is a very good manager.
He is a very good manager.
Yeah.
And I think with other teams that have kind of done that. I mean, look at Fulham, but then you can look at teams that were kind of yo-yoing and that went the other way, and they ended up tumbling, and they're almost in non-existence. And we don't have a right to be up there, in my opinion, regardless. But I do think that that's where we should be playing, and that's what we're a big.
Yeah.
Not big. To be honest, I think even our fan base is relatively small, but we've got fans all over the world.
We're starting to get that bit more of a City loyalty fan base as well now, aren't we?
I think so.
Sorry, Alan, what you said, you think that's the reality? What the reality is, we'll be a yo-yo club, or the reality is that we'll go and re-establish ourselves? I'd hope it's the latter, to be honest.
I think what he might be alluding to is that it's very difficult now for clubs that are coming back up to stay up. I think that like we've seen it this season, the season before. There's a bit of a gap now.
There's a massive gulf, and if the 3 that have gone up come straight back down again,
there's something wrong in that league.
But is it that the gulf is too big now?
Wouldn't it be fun, if you had 2 teams going down, and then that 3rd spot would be like the playoffs?
Well, the
relegation playoffs. So Man City, not Man City, Man United, Spurs, Everton, and whoever, they would have their playoff, and that the loser of that would get.
What about another way?
Well.
What about another way? The team that finishes 18th in the Premier League plays the team that finishes 3rd in the Championship for the final place in the Premier League.
Yeah,
it's a one-off game.
Yeah, that'd be
no home and away leg, just a one-off final. Because they do that in other leagues.
Think about how many games we played in that Championship season. What was it? 46.
Yeah.
And then you had to... Is that including...
No.
That's not including West Brom
twice.
And the Wembley.
Yeah.
that's a lot of games for a team to be able to play.
But but you say that. Look at all these clubs out of this Club World Cup. I mean, it's ridiculous. Man City have made the quarterfinals, and they've already been out there 3.5
Have you watched
weeks.
any of it?
No.
I haven't seen anything.
No, Man City have been out there 3.5 weeks.
Nonsense.
And if they make it to the final, they're going to be there another 2 weeks. I'm not feeling sorry for the millionaires, but surely they could be out there another 2.5 weeks. So that's getting on towards the middle of July, and the season starts 4 weeks after that. So
they've got to fit in pre-season, and that's different from being match fit. Pre-season.
How much of your match fitness would you lose after 4 weeks?
It's not because I don't think it's about that match fit. I think it's preparing your body.
You are going to want to go on holiday and rest.
Of course they are. Exactly.
Everybody
they're going to get 2 weeks.
But everybody gets annual leave. I know they haven't got the hardest job in the world, and I know they don't work 10, 12 hours a day like the working man does. But
I think they do put a lot on the line, though. Like some of the players that take it seriously do put a lot on the line. I don't think it's like everything. Yeah, you might knock off at 1, 2 o'clock, but you go in, their body goes on the line. They have to put themselves through a lot. They have to stay within a certain fat content, certain fitness.
But they're trained, and they are trained that for them.
They are trained, and I'm not saying, but it's still hard. And then they can't just go anywhere they want or do anything or go on holiday when they want. But then there's certain rewards that come with that, like the money, of course. But I think with playing all of them games in that season, I think it's too much. But then these teams like Liverpool, and they want to be out there. They want to be doing this. They want this income. They want that. Well, to do that, you have to play more games.
If you want success, then that's what you're going to have to do, isn't it?
They have to, and some of them do have huge squads for it.
Yeah, but teams that go far in cups and European competitions and things, Spurs and Man United, they both went to the final of the same competition. It was hardly a flagship game. It was a terrible game.
Absolutely disgraceful.
Probably the right result, really. But if we'd have held off a couple of weeks, we could have had Ange down there next season, couldn't we? But yeah.
I think that's madness. I don't think he's a hideous manager at all. I think it's very fickle.
When you look at the amount of injuries that Spurs had last season.
Yeah, but you look at that squad, and exactly, I think some of that was a load of rubbish.
They've not replaced Harry Kane. No. And Son isn't a.
But we knew that Son's
without 30. Harry Kane. Yeah, but he's not the player without Harry Kane. And Kane has gone over to Germany and scored a boatload of goals, hasn't he? And Golden Boot too. The first 2 seasons he's been their Golden Boot. He's won something now, and I don't begrudge the guy.
Farmers League.
But Son is not Son without Kane, is he? No. Not really.
It's not.
There you are. Right, should we let these people go to bed and do what they got to do?
Need to go, and we can chat about real life.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Plus, it's been an hour and a half, and we're probably bored enough people now.
Thank you, Mum, for tuning in.
Mum?
It's probably our mums, isn't it, that's tuned in.
And I don't think my mum knows how to work YouTube, so.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon your mum would sit and watch all that AI stuff, but not realise she's watching AI stuff.
No, mum's more of a 40s and 50s black and white movie sort of person. Yeah.
Classic.
She's
lovely,
classic,
isn't she? She is lovely.
She's good, mum.
Okay, so thank you very much for everyone for putting up with us, enjoying a point with us. Thank you again,
thank
mate.
You. And thank you to the Regent's Park for hosting us again.
Yes, that's a good point. We are at the Regent's Park in Shirley, and they have
Regent's Park, really?
We're
at the Regent's Park in Regent's Park, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not from around here.
Well, no, you're not. No, we're at the Regent's Park pub in Regent's Park.
Is that literally what they call it?
This area is Regent's Park.
Regent's Park. It did say that on the strange map.
Yeah.
But we're very close to Shirley.
We are, yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll probably end up doing another live in a week or two anyway.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Because I think every couple of weeks is the right thing for this. And I'll probably put out another video in the interim. Anyway, night to everyone. Thank you. Really appreciate your support. Don't worry, we will be doing it. Chris is sat next to me this season. It's going to be a nightmare. So I think we'll have a.
Why is it going to be a nightmare?
It's not. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't mean to say that.
This is why I didn't want to sit next to him.
Yeah, well, you didn't have a choice.
No, I didn't. No.
But that poor woman next to you.
What poor woman next to me?
It's going to be a bit. We're going to have to be stood like this, aren't we? Really?
Don't know what you're trying to say, mate.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're trying to say. Anyway, let people go to bed.
Thanks so much. Good night. God bless. Where is the end button? All the way down here. So, cheers.
End.
Now I've got to click that.
Would you restart?